Do you like drinking? I mean, do you really like drinking? Henry loves to drink. And playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you should really like drinking as well, because Henry drinks a lot in this game, and some of the best missions in the game is Henry drinking and getting completely smashed because of it. But you shouldn't let that get you down in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, because drinking is a big part of the game, like getting unconscious and losing your boots and lots of money.
You gotta be shitting me.
But it's super fun, and there's actually a lot of interesting perks that you can get. And you should drink at any opportunity you get, because it's essentially free perks, and it also just helps you along with the game. There's a lot of interesting dialogue you should do. So come and join us, have a drink, and let's go check out how drinking works.
And the drinks are on the house.
Don't just stand there, lad. Pour us a drink.
But no worry. Only 2 men go blind so far.
Not bad.
So starting the game, you're starting as a wee little lad, Henry, and you actually get some levels in drinking. You start out level 6, which isn't the greatest. Now the question is, how long would it take you to go from level 6 all the way to level 30? But you can see here this chart I put together about the different types of alcohols, and I tested them all out together. The main takeaway from this chart is that for every percent of alcohol that you have, you gain 2.5 experience points in drinking. And you can extrapolate this with any other alcohols that you find out in the world, because there's far more unique ones out there. But if you're just trying to level up straight using one type of alcohol, the best one overall is schnapps. Why is that? Because it has one of the lower nourishment values, and this is important because your rate of leveling up your drinking stats is based off how much room you got left in Henry's tummy. So you don't want to be using beer to try to level up, because you're going to get full before you actually level up. And I made another chart here on the left that tells you exactly how much experience you need going from level 6, going all the way up to level 30, and how much experience you need each time. So the total you need is about 13,800 to get to level 30 to max this out. So if you're going to drink nothing but beer all the way, you would actually need, without any buffs, 1,150 beers to get to level 30. And that's a lot of beer. I don't know if I've seen that much in the game so far. And in comparison, you only need 276 schnapps to actually get to level 30. So the difference is quite a bit better. But if you do have a Henry's Fox Potion, you get a 50% buff to experience gain, which actually means you only need about 184 schnapps to level up all the way.
So, what do you say to that? Excellent.
Now, if you're just planning to down a bunch of alcohol all at once, you're probably going to get full, and you're going to use a digestion potion to try to negate that. But really, digestion potions are pretty terrible, because you got to wait 20 seconds, 30 seconds for their effect to go down to negative 20. But there's one item that's even better, as you see here on the screen, the vinegar from Loretz. And really, you can look at the stats. You get minus 10 nourishment off of there instantly. There's no alcohol thing, there's nothing to charge, and best of yet, this stuff is essentially free. You go to this winery out here, and inside these barrels, you can get a bunch of this stuff, and it respawns all the time. You know, give it a few days, and plus they have other booze you could just take off of there that's essentially free as long as you don't get caught. So just borrow a bunch of it, and you'll be good.
You mean stole it?
Borrow. Borrow for a long time.
So let's test this out in real time. Your nourishment goes up to about 150 before you can't max out anymore. Henry only has that. So now if you use the vinegar, you actually minus 10 here. You can see you just keep going down, and it's totally fine. Just drink as much as you want, and you can actually go below 7. You can actually go to 0 if you want to, but it doesn't kill Henry right away. But you can actually go to 0 and be fine for a little bit. But anyways, now you can kind of go back, drink your schnapps all the way back, drink as much as you want to, close as 150 you're allowed to, and gain as much drinking experience in the process. As long as you don't exit out of the menu, the drunkenness don't come out, so you're fine, and you can hit level 30 in no time. The one thing I would suggest, have a hair of the dog potion before you, before you get out of the menu, and you should be good.
I just had a bit too much to drink.
I can see that and smell it.
However, let's talk about the bad part of drinking this fast, is that you actually can get to a really deep level of alcoholism, obsession, and you do not want to get to that point. And unlike Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, there is no potion to cure alcoholism at all. Not even the Henry level of hair of the dog can cure alcoholism. And waiting is quite a bit of a time. So let's bring up the different levels. There's actually 6 different levels of alcoholism. So let's show them all out. The first one that you see on the screen, of course, is salvia. It's the first level of alcoholism, but basically it's just a mild form of alcoholism. It's not even that bad. Basically, you can get it by drinking about 5 snop, which is 100 alcohol total units can consume. So it goes, what I believe it is that what percentage of alcohol you consume in the 24-hour period is that's how you achieve that. And you have to wait like a day or like a little bit of time for it to actually set in there. And then that way you'll see that you actually have salvia. And the next level that you have here is appetite. Appetite's not even that bad. You only get a strength decrease of 1. You know, unlike salvia, you get no debuffs off there, but appetite, you actually start seeing the debuff. So you only get a decrease of strength by 1. It's not that bad. And again, that is just having about 100% more alcohol in your system. And then you wait a little time, and you should see it, you know, appear on your debuff screens that you have, buffs or debuffs. And if you drink another about 100% there, you can see that it goes up there. You'll see that the desired level actually appears there. Actually, desired took me about 8 to 9 more schnaps there, so maybe it's about 200%, but the desired level that you have there is actually pretty bad. It takes off 1 vitality and 1 strength loss off of there. And the next level that you have is, again, if you take another 100%, 5 things there, you get demand level, which is demand alcoholism, which you lose strength, vitality, and speed, -3 off of there. Not too bad. Again, you have to wait in between each one. You take another 100% off of there, and then you wait a day or so. Now you have needs, which is strength, vitality, and speed -8, which is pretty darn bad. You don't want to mess with that. Now, again, if we do the final level 1, we just need about 5 snops there. You get to obsession. That means you're at the highest level that you are, or the highest level that I ever found. I drank 100 snops and didn't get any higher, but here you go. So now you have -10 to all your attributes. So this is pretty much one of the worst things you can get. And you can actually negate it by just taking a little bit of alcohol here and there if you want to live like that. And again, the Henry potion will not cure this. It will only subdue it for a while. Now, how long does it take to actually wait it out? It's actually quite a bit of long time. So I haven't successfully done it all the way through, but it seems that if you want to go from obsession to needs, it takes about 7 days. 7 days in the game waiting around to actually make it go away. And that's a really long time. And I believe it's 7 days between each level. So that means between the 6 different levels, you would actually need to wait. 42 in-game days to actually get rid of it completely. So if you're going to go straight from level 6 to all the way 30 drinking level, it's going to be a while for you to get rid of alcoholism all the way through. And also, it seems my game keeps crashing the more time I wait. So if I wait in the game longer than 10 days in one spot, it becomes problematic. So watch out for that.
I think I've had enough.
All right, let's go over perks real quick, because drinking, why you're going to do all this drinking is because you want the perks off here. There's a total of 13 perks, and essentially, if you get to level 30, you get all the perks. So it's not a big deal. You're not going to miss out if you don't pick one of them right away, but we're just going to go through the list of them. Nightcap is one that you usually start out with. It's pretty good. It gives you 10% extra, sleeping comfort. It's not too bad. And also, you don't get a hangover while you're sleeping. Not a bad one to have. You might also take it. It's pretty good. Beerfoot, the next one I would probably take would be Beerfoot, and it's absolutely amazing because essentially for only a little bit of beer, you don't have to get super drunk, you just need a single beer. You can actually get 20% less noise when moving indoors, and why wouldn't you want that? That one's actually incredible. And if you're going more down the thievery route, I would probably pick Drunk Luck is pretty good as well. Though, do not be deceived by the +4 to thievery. You don't get it automatically when just having a little bit to drink. It's that when you're more drunk, the more drunk you get, the more bonus you get. So just having a single beer, you probably only get a +1. But as you're drunker and drunker you get, the more to the bonus you get. So it's all right, but you might as well grab it if you're going to steal something or you're doing a little bit of thievery. Just take a little drink if you have this perk. Indomitable Drunk is probably one you don't have to pick right away. It's just the negative effects of drunkenness will be milder for you. You know, you get all 13 perks, you might as well take it. It's whatever, but this could go in the back of the pack. I never had too much to deal with drunkenness. I usually drink before Henry goes to bed, and sleeping in nightcap perk basically takes care of all the negative effects anyways, so what's the point of this perk? I don't get it. Drunken Fool is one of those perks that you don't really necessarily need, but it's fun to have. So basically, if you commit a minor crime while drunk, you can try to excuse yourself claiming that you're in an impaired state. If you have level 30 drinking, really high drinking, you can replace this with speech to get away with crimes, and it's absolutely hilarious. Listen to some of this stuff.
So you wanted to fight, eh? Pay up, or I'll show you what we do with scum like you.
Look, guard. I had a bit of a drink today. I thought he was going to attack me.
What kind of a stupid excuse is that?
You never had the feeling that someone's out to get you? Oh, it's awful, I'll tell you.
If you do max out drinking, this is a really good perk to deal with guards or anything else for minor crimes. You can get away with quite a bit of stuff, and you have to be a little bit of drunk to actually activate it, but in reality, it doesn't cover. If you have high speech, you could just get through a lot of stuff anyway. So this is kind of just a fun to have perk, but not a necessary one, so pick it if you like. Enhanced Mixture is an interesting perk to have. Essentially what it does is that when you have a little bit to drink, any potion you use will actually give you a little healing effect, though you have to be more drunk to get a better effect from it. So it's kind of this cross in between the two, so watch out for it. I kind of like it because you get a little bit extra health points, so you don't have to down marigolds all day, but you know, as perks go, you don't want to be drunk all the time while you're fighting or need all these different potions. So if you down a lot of potions and you're a big potion user, this perk is essentially free eats for you to get extra healing ability. So, Experienced Reveler is definitely one of those perks that you must have if you're going to pick any of the other drinking perks, especially if you're going to fail at the table, because what it does is that it makes the bonuses of the positive phases of drunkenness come to full effect earlier, meaning that you can take advantage of, you know, getting your +4 thievery or actually like getting the better healing effects on the potion. So this is like a definitely must-have perk to pick, even though it doesn't sound as good, but it really does the job there. So pick this perk, you're gonna need it, and it'll give you the benefits later on. Go. This one's really good to have. Saint Vivian's Grace is actually an interesting perk. I was a little skeptical at first, but it's actually pretty good. So if you're under influence of alcohol and you fall from a great height, so off a cliff or off the top of a castle, you're less likely to be injured and take damage, and it's actually pretty good. Like, check this out. Like, I go on the top of Gutenberg's castle or scaffolding and I fall down and I didn't take any damage. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, the Lucky Day perk, to me, it's not the greatest, and it's probably like one of the last ones I would pick, is that the more drunk you are, the higher chance you have not wasting your badge when using it. This is exactly playing on dice. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't usually play with badges, and I have so many badges, it doesn't really matter. So to me, this perk is kind of a wasted perk, but you know, there might be a use for it later in the game when they do more DLC and fix some of the dice, because some of the dice are completely broken, but that's a different story altogether. Beer Belly is an interesting one because beer never expires, and this perk basically lets you replace beer as food. I mean, you can still already do it, but beer sate you twice as much as food, and also potions only sate you half as much, so you can drink more potions. But to me, they raised the nourishment to 150 level instead of 120 compared to KCD 1, and I feel like I never get full that fast anyways, so to me, this perk is kind of like, it's not worth it to me for the most part. Like, beer does not have great stats with it, so it doesn't like heal you at all. So I'm looking at the stats. Yeah, it doesn't heal you, it doesn't give you extra energy. I don't see the point of Beer Belly. For me, it doesn't work, but for other people, if you don't want to carry food that keeps rotting and you just have beer, it works out great. But for me, not worth it. Heavy Duty is a perfect perk to take if you're really heavy into crafting. For me, I'm not a big crafter, but essentially +4 to your craftsmanship skill just for drinking a little bit, it's pretty good. And also, there are speech checks that require you to have craftsmanship, so even if you don't do crafting, it's worth having because you have a little beer here and there, you raise your craftsman skill up, and you're able to solve some of these speech checks. So, you know what? It's a pretty good perk. I would pick it up if you can't think of anything else to do. Cheers is actually a pretty good perk to have. It's not like overpowered, but essentially drinking wine or beer would actually heal you up for 5 health points more, and spirits can cure poisoning, which is not bad to have overall. You don't get poison that often, but this perk, get it, it's not too bad. It comes in handy sometimes. Tavern Brawler is probably one of those perks you want to take early on. You get a +4 unarmed, just basically having a little booze. It's great. This is the same problem you have with some of the other ones. You have to be more drunk to kind of get to the +4. You don't automatically get it. So a little bit drunk, +1, a little more, +2, +3. You kind of get that phase, but it's pretty good. Grab it. And that right there is all 13 perks of drinking right there. So pick them in any order that you wish, but I kind of give my little opinion on each of them. Some are better than others, but you know how that works out. Drinking is not the most overpowered skills to have, but I find it makes the game much more enjoyable to have high level drinking skills and having some of these perks here and there. It just adds a little extra bonuses here and there. You won't regret drinking so much. But anyways, I think that should be good enough for now.
Oh, God! What am I supposed to do?
How about a little wine to begin with?
At least it will make us drunk.
Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that part now and you learned a little bit more about drinking. And pick up drinking because it's a lot of fun to have in the game, and you might as well do it because there's a lot of big bonuses to have along with it. Anyways, until then, hope to see you next time. Have a good one, and goodbye.
Above all, I'm smart. I dare say I'm the smartest person I know.